Hello and welcome to another Monday night stream. I say Monday night, it's Monday night for me. I'm sure it's different time zones for those of you watching. Evening, afternoon, morning. But wherever you are tuning in from, you are more than welcome. So today I am going to be recreating Lobot. Because he has a brief cameo appearance in chapter 14, and I know he's only in The Empire Strikes Back very briefly, but it's still important to get him right. So at the moment, this is just a basic unedited character. So he doesn't look anything like Lobot just yet, but that will change as the stream progresses. I'm just getting some reference pictures up on my second monitor so I can look back and forwards between the two. I think I've got some good ones there. Thank you, Google. Star Wars Tales at Light Speed. Hello there, and welcome. I think those reference pictures will work nicely. I've got the reference pictures and I've got the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. I hope you can hear me all okay. Just a quick check of OBS. Yeah, sound looks fine. Okay. I'm excited to do this because he's a very memorable character, even though he doesn't really say anything. Thomas, welcome. It's good to see you. Curious how many of the regulars will show up today. I know not everyone can always make it, but it is nice when you see familiar faces here in the chat. Let's have a bit of water because help me keep on talking. Now, obviously Lobot was played by an older actor than this looks, so that's one of the things that we'll be doing, is changing how he looks. Gavin, this is the way. Yeah, well, I didn't want to get into trouble with YouTube, so I thought I'd better give him some underwear for the stream. Although if I did take the underpants off, there's nothing visible. There's no genitalia modelled in iClone. Gavin, what's your proposition? Gavin, what would you do if I already had Tabletop Simulator? I've had Tabletop Simulator for a while. I bought it in a Steam sale. I haven't really done anything with it. I do know that the X-Wing and Armada and Imperial Assault, and I believe I'd be surprised if Legion wasn't also included. That could be fun. I'll have to check the mods, mods, and have a look, give them a try. Thomas, black's one of my favourite colours to wear as well. Though I have switched to grey more recently. Tried to mix it up just a little bit. Right, I think we can get started, but I will be, because I'm not playing, it's a lot easier for me to talk and do this at the same time, whereas when I'm playing TIE Fighter, if I turn away from the screen, that's when I crash into Y-Wings. And that's bad. So let's see. Hoppy, welcome. Yeah, so obviously Lobot is older than this. So this is basically just a default character face. Because I'm creating him from scratch. So this is a default character face, and obviously we're going to be changing that. So he looks a bit more recognisable. These thumbnails kind of give you a rough idea of how the faces look, but they're not entirely accurate 100%. But this looks right. Or maybe not. Thomas, yeah. I think I like your explanation more. Lobot's head's a bit wider than that, so basically there are different head shapes, and we are going to look for one that's fairly similar. I think that's right, actually. Needs to be a bit wider, but I think that more or less works. So we'll go into sliders and play around with that there. But yeah, I do like the idea that the Y-Wings are crashing into me because they're bad pilots and not me crashing into them. Lobot is the guy in The Empire Strikes Back with on Cloud City with the implant around his head. I think actually it'll probably make it all easier all around if I have that. That should remind you of who Lobot is. It's a little bit too big, but we can resize that as we need to. This is just a rough... There you go. I thought as soon as I put that on, you'd know who it is. This is a work in progress implant, so it's got no detail on the back. But, yeah, so he's briefly in Heir to the Empire in the next chapter, and I thought tonight's stream would be fun to recreate him. Right, so we're going to go back to and we're going to play around the shape of the head a little bit. Head width, that's what we want. Okay. Is there a face width? There we go. He's got probably just sort of, hang on. Gavin, no, I'm not really into Warhammer. I think you need here is Grand Admiral Thrawn, because I remember you two having long detailed chats about Warhammer. But I don't keep track of what happens with it because I never really got into it. Admiral Moo, welcome. I would feel out of place making Warhammer stuff because I'm not that familiar with the setting, so I feel like I don't really belong there. Right, I think we're gonna modify his skin next. So he looks more the right age, and then we'll come back to adjusting the face shape to be more accurate. But I think this kind of this is a good step towards it. I've heard good things about the lore. It's just that I don't really want to get into the game. I've got enough tabletop games to play that I don't really play that often as it is. Nope, wrong one. So there are skin textures. Obviously we don't need those. Hold on. What we want is the default male clean. I suppose if there were audible books, I could check them out. Right, okay, Gavin. If I were to read a Warhammer or listen to a Warhammer book, and I wrote this down, what title would you recommend I start with? So I can write this down and I can check it out later. Lobot will be fully dressed. I'm just not doing the clothes yet. So now according to the skin editor, it's removed his implant. That's just it hasn't actually removed it. It's just made it not visible while we're doing this. So don't worry, he hasn't disappeared. Right, he doesn't have eyebrows. And he needs to look older than this. So there are some details we can add. Krogan, welcome. Hoppy, he probably does. I will not be trying to figure out what they might be though. Yeah, he's going to be fully dressed. Gavin, thank you so much for the super chat there, and I will do just that. Let me write that down. Hells, okay. I will check that out after the stream. Thank you so much for contributing that. And I'm still listening to the new Thrawn books, but then I'll get the Warhammer book and I'll listen to it after I finish the Thrawn ones. I often do listen to audiobooks when I'm animating. It is quite nice. So that's a good recommendation there. Thank you. Face wrinkles. Yep, that one works. Nope. So, the last church re-upload. Let me write that down as well. Okay. I'll check that out later as well. I don't think I'll be watching that tonight because usually I go to bed not long after the stream. But I can check them out and then watch them at a more sensible hour. Yeah, I am using reference pictures. You can't see them. They're on my second monitor. So on my second monitor, I've got the chat down one side, and then I've got a load of reference pictures of Lobot. Thanks to Google image search. He needs a little bit of wrinkle around the eyes and forehead creases. There's the wrinkles. The forehead. Yep. Well, thank you, Gavin, for the donation and the recommendation. When I start listening to it, I'll let you know on the stream. Obviously not right now because I don't think I could get away with broadcasting the audio back while I'm streaming, but I can give you an update when the time comes. I will adjust the settings to make that a little bit less obvious when I've got all the right wrinkles in. He's got some cheek wrinkles as well. Let's try this one. I think that will work. You are most kind, Gavin. Thank you. Right, so the eye wrinkles need to be a little bit less. He needs them, but they don't need to be quite as intense as they were there. I think that should do. He does. So this is roughly his face shape, but now I'm adding the texture detail, and then I'll go back to adjust the images, the actual shape of the model afterwards. It's just it helps to have the face. It helps to have the texture detail on before I start playing around with it. But I'm glad you're checking my work to making sure that I'm following the. Some of the pictures are very shadowy, which makes it a little bit harder to get right, but we'll get there. Yeah, what other wrinkles have we got that we could put on? Does that make a difference? Here we go. Starker, you can create models for this and export them to Unreal. This is not the Unreal character. I forgot what they call it now. But they released an Unreal character creation tool. This is not it. It's very similar, but Here we go, sorted. A little bit of noise for the face. There we go. Starker, if you look up Real Illusion, this is called Character Creator. There's a free version you can try out. You do have to buy the content, so if you try the free version you won't get a lot of material to play around with, but you can create faces and do all kinds of stuff. So just check it out on their website. Don't think I need anything else. Do I? No, we don't need details like that. Nope. So I think I was going to say, are his ears right? But then of course you don't see his ears because they're covered by the implant. Alright, so I think that should work for now. I can come back and edit the texture further later on if I need to. Thrawn hasn't been here for a couple of weeks. I hope he's alright. Robotic Pope, welcome. So what I'm doing now is I set the texture to 4x4K. This is the maximum it can generate textures. When you're putting in the details, it prefers to do it at half the level to make it easier for processing. But then what I like to do is once I've got all the details in, set it to 4K, and then I can deactivate the editor. But then you get the maximum quality on the character faces. Starker, the location of my fleet. I know you're referencing that cutscene from TIE Fighter, but I think Vader would approve of my Imperial activities. Yeah, I hope Thrawn comes back soon too. It's not quite the same without him. Jared Walsh, there are 32 chapters in the book. Son of I Above All. There's actually a video of myself taken at Disneyland Paris where you can go and meet Vader. So I did, and it was hilarious because he starts asking me all these awkward questions. It's pretty funny. You can check out my YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's called offhand, but if you look through some of those videos, I'm sure you'll find it. Robotic Pope, thank you. That was a nice little... I made my day, well, made my weekend last weekend. I say last weekend, the weekend before last now. So what are you in that long? But yeah. And it was up for Best Visual Effects as well, which I was up against some pretty good competition to win that award, or to be nominated for that award as well. So I was very pleased. So as you can see, the face editor's gone away, which means his implant's back. I think we can actually, before we do anything else, but I saved my work so far. Because I'm quite pleased with how he looks, so I wouldn't want to lose him. Jared, there is another animator who is already working on Dark Empire, so I wouldn't really want to step on his toes, but you can find that on YouTube. He's done 2 parts of it so far, and they're both very good. Gavin, I've always got time for you guys. I wouldn't be making this show, I wouldn't be carrying on making Heir to the Empire if it wasn't for all of the people that turned up for the first chapter and said please make more, we really like this, and then just kept encouraging me to make more. So I don't forget things like that. It's very important not to. I know that some, I don't really feel like I'm famous, but I know that some celebrities, they get famous and then they forget why they're famous, and it's the fans that make them. I think the implant needs to be a bit smaller, but as you can see his ears coming through it, so I'll fix that in a moment. Starker, there's no way I could take that wrong. One of the things that I've said a lot, because I get asked which books am I going to do next, and honestly I don't know, because hold on a second, there we go, because it's going to take me a while to finish Heir to the Empire, and I suppose the next logical choice would be Dark Force Rising. But I get people asking me if I'm going to do this book or whatever their favourite book is. My answer is I would like to inspire other animators and filmmakers to pick up the other Star Wars books and then turn them into animated films or live action fan films or whatever their style is. So there's no way, Starrick, I could take wrong that you want to turn the Revan book into a series. I will look forward to seeing what you do. Thomas, thank you. I plan to keep on going with it. And I did see the KOTOR series getting lots of views. Slightly envious, but they are well deserved. Berserker of Thrawn, welcome. Unreal Cinema, welcome. We were just talking about you, which I think you realised. It's really good to see you here. I have been watching the videos you've been putting up. I think the last one I saw was the HK47 one. Unreal Cinema. I noticed the character creator in your HK47 video, so yeah, it was nice to see that I'm not the only one using it. Although I'm using iClone for my project rather than Unreal. Although I have to admit, looking at what you've been doing has made me want to investigate Unreal a bit more. Well, Thomas, I'm really glad that you've been waiting and you're enjoying my interpretation of the trilogy so far. Yeah, so Unreal Cinema, I am attempting to recreate Lobot. I've got some reference pictures on my other monitor, but that's what tonight's project is. And yeah, it does look stunning, some of the things that I've seen done. There's also the new NVIDIA Omniverse, which is quite intriguing. Andrew, welcome. Lobot 4413 Media. Yeah, the complexity is one of the things that does put me off slightly, because I already know how to use iClone. If I were to switch to Unreal, then I would have that learning process, which might slow down chapters. So many people here tonight. Check the stats. Huh. The medical officer, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Working on chapter 14. This Lobot here is for chapter 14. So as you can see, I'm getting making progress. And last week I streamed making one of the rooms for it. I did fix up some of the lighting afterwards, which I'm really happy now. I still need to put some extra furniture and stuff in the room, but I didn't think that would make for an interesting stream. Anyway, I'm going to just sidetrack because I haven't actually done anything to him for about 10 minutes because I'm talking to you guys. There's a bank holiday at the weekend, next weekend. I don't think it's Victoria Day. Right, so I'm going to try and get a little bit more done on Lobot. His jaw needs to be adjusted. What was it? So in this channel, all Star Wars is welcome. Okay, so I get a lot of people don't necessarily like the sequels, or they don't like The Mandalorian, or in this case Bad Batch. But the way I see it, I've had a lot of comments from people saying they've never read Heir to the Empire, or they've only just recently become aware of Star Wars because of the newer content. And that's fine, it happens. Lots of people were introduced to Star Wars through the prequels, or the special editions, or through Clone Wars. But they find Heir to the Empire, and it makes them want to read the book and explore the rest of the expanded universe. So it's important for me that everyone is welcome here, because I would like to I want to be inclusive, so it makes more people want to check out Heir to the Empire if they're not familiar with it, and the other expanded universe stories. But we can't do that if we chase away all the fans of the newer content. Starker, have a good night. Thank you so much for coming. The Nerdporial life form, thank you. Thank you for including the Heir to the Empire in that. Have you posted it on YouTube yet, or is it going to be coming soon? But thank you so much for mentioning the show. I do appreciate that. just has some cheekbones here, and not quite that one. His face is a little bit more rounded. Well, this is 6 years after The Empire Strikes Back, so it could... Ah, okay. Well, I'm still glad you mentioned the book, and that helps as well. Andrew, he does actually have quite a wide face. Could narrow it down a little bit. Let's have a look. Well, I will check out your channel after the stream. See what you've got on there. So Andrew, I've got reference pictures on my second monitor, so my memory is a little bit fresher than that. Oh, that's why. That's why I couldn't find it. It was in the wrong. I was looking in the wrong section. Gee, it does look a little better when I narrow it down just slightly. Right, I think I'm going to go with that. I think there's no mistaking who he is. I think I should check his eye colour. 1 second. See what Wikipedia says, because pictures are kind of dark. Blue eyes. He's already got blue eyes here, so I think that should be fine. Because The Empire Strikes Back is quite a... The lighting in it is very dark. His eyes are kind of shadowy, so it's hard to get a close look at his eyes in the pictures I'm seeing, but I did think they were blue, and obviously they are, so that works. Right, we're going to save again. And he's only in it briefly, and again he doesn't say anything, so I do have to use my time wisely. So the next thing is he needs to be wearing more than his underpants. I can't make him disco dance here because this is just the character creator. It doesn't have any animation capability. This is just to create the characters. I'll have to export him into iClone later and then see what I can do. Actually, there is one more thing. His forehead is slightly different shape. Can I change that here, or do I need to go further up? Oh, there we go. Forehead. Nope. I haven't checked. There's so many sliders, I can't remember what exactly they all do, so yeah, that's it. I don't think he's going to be wearing the exact same outfit, This is 6 years later, so it's hard to imagine him wearing the same clothes after all that time. Hoppy, yeah. Or a million hits, or a large donation to my coffee page. That could do it. Strid Gamer, welcome. Just reading your. I took a lesson from a couple of years ago and fixed my lightsaber effects in iClone. Yeah, my lightsaber effects keep changing as iClone gets updated. They always keep making adjustments to how lighting and glow effects work, so you have to keep adjusting it. Nodporial life form. I try to keep it as close to the book as possible. There are things in the book that don't necessarily work on screen. The example I'm going to give is chapter 1. In the book, the very first scene is Captain Pelion on the bridge of the Chimera, and he's thinking to himself about the state of the Empire. And I decided to cut that because it's not an easy scene to portray in animated form, or in video form. I wouldn't want to do it live action either, because I could either, the options are he talks to himself. Well, that would he's a captain. He's not going to do that on the bridge of his ship and completely destroy the morale of his bridge crew. No captain would do that, or no good captain would do that. And obviously, he is a good captain. And internal monologue is also another option. It's never been done in Star Wars in any of the video media, so doing that in this wouldn't feel like Star Wars. So I decided to cut that. There are some very long pieces of dialogue. I might streamline those down a bit, because sometimes what they're in the book, they'll be talking about something, but sometimes it's easier just to show what they're talking about. So when the advantage of the video, of course, is you've got the sort of the graphical medium to do that. And yeah, Game of Thrones was another part of the inspiration, because I watched season 1, really enjoyed it, had a long wait for season 2, so I'm going to read the books. I can't just read book 2 because things might have changed. The show might have changed things from season 1, from book 1. So I read the book. I thought, actually, this is pretty close to the TV series. Got things pretty close, but there were some small changes. Like, let's see, one of the early episodes is after the night after the big party in Winterfell. Tyrion wakes up. In the book, he spends a couple of pages just wandering through the castle, and he talks about all the things he sees. That's great in the book, but in a TV show, you don't want to spend several minutes watching Tyrion walking around a castle before he meets anyone. So in the TV show, he wakes up in a barn, he kind of stumbles out, and immediately he's talking to the characters, and the conversation he has is the same as in the book. So that's the kind of if I make changes, it's kind of like that. Excuse me. Son of I. Well, yeah. In the comic book, there's this weird structure, but I've done the Dreadnought being carried by the walkers. It's been in the last 2 chapters. So far, we haven't actually landed on the city, but we've seen In chapter 12, when they arrive, there's this kind of falcon kind of flies in, and you get close up of the city, and you see the walkers. I actually animated one of the walkers for one of my early streams when I was getting started with doing the weekly stream. So I did it correct to the book. I think George Martin might have lost a lot of motivation to finish the book, with the TV show catching up and overtaking it. I found that I enjoyed watching the show more than I enjoyed reading the book, so I never progressed past book 1. I am aware that they did make a lot of changes after that, but season 1 and book 1 are pretty much identical, except for the small changes where the video the video medium needed some changes to make the scenes work, but there were small things, and I get why the small things change, because working on this I can get a better understanding of it. I still haven't given him any clothes, so we're going to have a look. You guys are going to help me dress him, I think. So he wears a jumpsuit with no sleeves, and then a shirt underneath with quite loose sleeves. I don't think I've got anything like that in my collection of clothes, so we may not be giving him an 100% accurate costume. The other two are just as good. I'd say even better, actually. But obviously Heir to the Empire is the beginning, and so that's the one that had the big impact. And of course it made sense to start here. Puffy pirate shirt. I don't know why everyone's obsessed with this underwear, because I haven't shown it for a long time. Batfan, yeah, this is going to be in chapter 14 of Heir to the Empire. This shirt, it's a short sleeve shirt, so the colours you get don't really matter that much because I can change them. No, I don't think so. Or are you saying, will I edit all of Heir to the Empire chapters into a movie? I've been doing that with a lot of the chapters so far. I haven't done it with the most recent. Actually, I think this might work. Hold on. See, if I change this striped bit to solid grey, like it looks in the thumbnail, I think that will work nicely. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the striped bit, but I think the long sleeve blue shirt. This one? So if I go into the texture editor thing for this, no, not that one, okay. I was going through them so quickly I can't remember where they all were. Go down. This one? Don't think I showed that one. No. Done. It's got... so this is called Character Creator 3. If you go to the Real Illusion website, you'll find it on there. I don't think that works. I know it's clipping, that'll be one of the things I fix. I've used this shirt a lot for characters already, so I think it'd be better to... I deleted the wrong one. Let me show you what I was thinking of doing for this, and then I'll carry on looking. Business shirt, activate appearance editor. We want to change the blue and the red and the green. No, I don't plan to do that. I'm keeping this series as close to the book as possible. If the sequel trilogy didn't want to acknowledge the book, that's its own problem. I do not really want the stress of trying to do that. Also, judging by references in The Mandalorian, they've got their own plans for Thrawn. So I wouldn't want to do this and then find that they've gone and done something completely different. So by ignoring the new canon, regardless of whether or not you like it, nothing they do will affect this story. So if I was trying to make this story fit in with what they were doing, I would be constantly having to revise it, because The Mandalorian and the attached shows all take place at the same time. And even if I made this a year after Return of the Jedi, I would still have to constantly be revising this story. And I just don't want to do that. Well, that was great. It crashed. I guess it's not a stream without something crashing. And for once it didn't involve a Y-wing. So I'm loading that back up. I don't think you can see it. You will be able to when it loads back up. Luckily I had saved, so that's not really a big loss there. Wolf, the reason is because I think they looked terrible in Imperials, and when I tried to animate the first scene with them, they just weren't looking as good as I really wanted them to. Wolf, you don't need to retract the comment. I'm quite happy for that to be there so I can answer it. So then I thought about the way they made him look, the way they made the uniform look in Rebels. I get why they did that, because it's a lot easier to animate him with little golden pieces on his shoulders instead of the big traditional ones. So that's why I used the Rebel one, because it worked better from an animation perspective. Okay, so the only thing we've lost is his shirt, which hopefully won't crash when I try and do it again. I am having a look through. That's underwear. We don't need any more underwear. Gavin, he can't dance in the character creator. There's no... This is just for creating the model. There's no sort of animation in it. So I can't make him move until he's finished. Thomas, I'm trying to put the shirt back. The software crashed, and my last save was before I put the shirt on. I don't have a pirate. I got this shirt. Someone asked earlier, I didn't get to answer the question, what happens if you put ladies' clothes on? It just forms the shape of the person wearing it. Oh, I see, Gavin. Very funny. I don't think this is very Lobot. Wolf, you're welcome. I'm happy to answer questions. Right, we're going shirtless again. Those are plain ones. Not that one. Hoyle, welcome. Right, we're going to try and edit this shirt again, and hopefully it won't crash. Of course, as I said, it's not a stream without something crashing, and I'm surprised it didn't involve wire wings. I think this shirt is actually right once I get rid of the stripes. Yeah, fingers definitely crossed. We're going to use the force. Well, this is going well. Another crash. Okay, I'm loading it back up again. It does take a moment. It's a pretty demanding piece of software. Yeah, I think that shirt, I like the idea of what I had in my mind was I'm going to keep the blue as it was, but the stripe bit I was going to make plain and sort of dark grey. Hondu is alive. He appears... I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge, but he's a character in Galaxy's Edge, and that's obviously set in the sequel trilogy, which would suggest that he's... I mean, he would have to still be alive in between that to be alive later. Apart from that one pirate outfit, I don't have any puffy shirts. Admiral Moo, thank you for coming. It's always good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your night, or whatever time of day it is for you. Right. Let's try something different. Hondu, I suppose, could appear. It might be difficult to create the model because he's got quite an elaborate face. You want this one for... Okay. Thomas, yeah, it's just gone 1 AM. See, I like the puffy sleeves. I'm not sure about the gold. I wonder if I can take that off. Alderaan got what it deserved. Problem is, the sleeves and the black and gold bit are all part of the same model, so I can't get rid of one bit without getting rid of the whole lot. Yeah, the vest is part of the same piece of clothing, so I can't get rid of it. Hoyle, that's a very good question. I do not have an answer. Gavin, the shirt and the sleeves are part of the same thing. So, let me see if I can do this. So, this is all one 3D model. I can't take just the sleeves out and then keep the sleeves and then get rid of the rest. I can change the texture though. So let's have a look at this shirt. I can add it, I can edit the texture manually, or I should be able to. This may or may not work. It doesn't always. Louisiana boy. It's easy to pick up and to make scenes. It takes a while to learn all the features, but there are some excellent tutorials that Real Illusion have made, and they're all on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure about it either, to be honest. But I'm going to see what I can do. See, I'm not convinced that Rangers is actually cancelled. They said it's not in active development right now. But it's meant to be the end of the story, but if they haven't made the shows leading up to it yet, why would they be? They're not going to start filming it while they're still filming the lead up shows. Excuse me. Just done that thing where you drink some water and then swallow it down the wrong way. Yeah, I know there's some clipping issues that will be fixed later. I don't want to. What I want to do is see if I can adjust the texture before I go to the trouble of fixing the clipping issues, because the clipping takes a little while to fix. Well, that would not be a good way to go, would it? Drowning on a sip of water while streaming, trying to make Lobot. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be such a... This isn't going to be the right costume outfit, I don't think. Annoyingly, I still think that shirt that keeps crashing the software is the right one to use. But maybe... So So what I would do to fix the clipping is you can go into the mesh edit, which I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to use this, but I'll just give you a quick look. So you can edit the mesh, and then just pick the points like this and bring them forward. And I just basically go around the model and do that to all the bits where it's clipping. But since I'm not going to be using the shirt, I'm not going to do that. So let's get rid of the shirt. There's a professional outfit. So what else have we got in here? No, that's not it. I still can't make him dance. Okay, so I know we're going to come back to the shirt and it made things crash. But there is another way to edit. Texture. So basically what I would do, so I'm going to try two things. First is to change that to PBR. So if this crashes again, what I'm going to do is keep the shirt on, edit it, because you can take the texture and edit it externally in some Photoshop or whatever, and then bring it back in. I'm not going to stream myself doing that because it's not that interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have any good sunglasses options. But I'm going to try one last thing, and what I've done is I've changed the texture type, so that may make a difference. Or it may crash it again. Keep current selection. You guys. Actually, that didn't work out quite the way I thought it was going to work out. Let's try one more thing. Corbin, what did you think of the book? Also, I like the name. You guys are great with your suggestions. I mean, I'm not going to do any of them, but I am enjoying them. Right. I'm going to do that though. Set the texture for the clothes to be maximum size that it will allow. I wonder if I can do this quickly. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but if I can do it quickly enough, that won't really matter. Yeah, actually I think this is going to work. Okay, so we want that. I've just loaded up. You can't see it, but what I've done is I've loaded up the texture into PaintShop Pro. I prefer it to Photoshop. Personal choice. And I'm just going to basically I'm just going to go through and change the stripe to something a little bit more sensible. When I say sensible, I don't think we're that sensible here. But just bear with me a few minutes while I'm doing this. I will keep chatting to you. I could put an Australian bolt under his shirt. Thing is, no one would know it's there. It's like, as has been quite widely commented on this evening, he's wearing underpants. Once I've put the proper trousers on, I'm going to delete the underpants because you can't see them. But they still exist, which makes the character model more complicated, which will in turn slow down rendering time, even though you can't see them. So he will not have any underwear on. None of the characters do. I see no point putting underwear on characters when you can't see it, and all it's going to do is slow down the time it takes to render the completed scenes. Also makes the scenes more demanding on my system when I'm just animating them as well, which is not a good thing. So the characters don't have any genitalia in iClone. I'm not going to show I'm not going to take the pants off when you can see, because I don't think I can get away with that on YouTube, and I do like coming here, so let's not get myself into trouble. If you really want to know, go and download the character creator from the Realism website and take a look. But basically there's nothing there, it's just kind of smooth. And it's the same with women as well. So almost done selecting the striped bit. I'm just going to colour it in. There was actually a glitch in the Old Republic. I was in the beta, well, the open beta towards the end, just before it launched, and there was this glitch where some of the costumes would make the characters have nothing on except their underwear, even though that's not what they were meant to look like. It was pretty funny. Right, I've done one of the stripy sections, so I'm going to show you guys, and then you can get a taste of how it's going. See, I've got this sort of dark grey colour. I think that's a little bit too dark. Yeah, it is. Hold on. If that's well, that's the way you want to play it. Not dark enough, somewhere in between. There we go. So this is the colour I was thinking. So I'm gonna the collar and the end of the sleeves, and go to the cuffs. I'm gonna make this grey. I'll come back to the buttons afterwards. Again, you won't be able to see me doing this, so we're just gonna chat. Hopefully, this will be a little bit quicker to select. Colours are a slightly more complicated shape on the texture. The reverse Lobot he's actually in chapter 14 of Heir to the Empire. I have not watched that yet. I haven't actually got around to watching the first season yet, which is terrible of me. Oh, I see. I mean, I guess I could do that, but I would like to be true to the source material. Established characters will be whatever skin tone they were established as. So Lando is obviously going to be black. Han Solo is obviously going to be white. Because that's the way that George Lucas created them. Characters that don't really have a lot of screen time or much of a description, that's a little bit more a little more freedom to play around with. Emphas, thank you so much for that. I will be putting... I'll find some way to put that towards making the series better. It's the second Super Chat donation of the night. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Almost got it right. Well, thank you so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I know that the last few minutes have not been the most exciting thing to see. There we go. So now I've got the collar, I think you can get a better idea of what I'm going for. It's sort of like, reminds me of the Cloud City uniforms. Also just realised the shirt matches the colour of the dreadnought of Nomad City, painted on the outside. There's no dancing mannequins, I'm afraid, Gavin. But maybe next week. Thomas, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself here. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves here. So next I just got to do the cuffs. I'm certainly enjoying myself in the chat. The buttons I can get rid of, but I can only do one thing at a time. I can use... Yeah, buttons aren't really a Star Wars thing, are they? So maybe I can just take them out entirely. But let me finish the cuffs first. Lobot fans only, or do you really mean Lobot only fans? Hand does not have buttons. I think I removed hands buttons as well. I can't remember now. Yeah, I will not be making a Lobot only fans before anyone puts that request in. I think that would be a good way to get the mouse's attention, which I don't really want. Well, I'll say that if they want to pay me to make this, then yeah, but I don't want them saying please don't make Lobot only fan stuff. Strid Gamer, I'm glad that you're working on the things in iClone as you're watching this. Well, your lightsaber effect. It's nice to know that I'm providing entertainment, and I hope the rest of the chat is as well for you as you work. Right, just going to finish off the last cuff. Only take a moment. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing, although what I'm actually doing is not that exciting anyway. I've got the texture open. I'm selecting the part of it I want to edit, and then I'm just covering that in grey, which is not the most exciting thing to watch. Right, cuffs are done. Just saving it, and let's have a look. There we go. Yeah, I think the buttons need to go. They don't work. So copy, paste. Ignore that he's transparent for us now. Just need to adjust the transparency layer a second. Buttons are gone. So, Gavin, you mean because he's not wearing any any pants, any trousers? We will be fixing that next, I think. I think that will do for now. Alright, time to find him some trousers and shoes. Content. We're going to close the underwear and shirts and go to pants. Should Gamer, excellent. I hope you'll when you've finished your lightsaber effect, you'll post and the video. I hope you'll share a link. I wonder if these will work. I know the colours are going to be awful. I don't think the camo pants are going to work. No. So the bright orange doesn't work, but I think the trousers themselves do. So fortunately, editing the colours like this is well, it helps to have the right texture type set. You can just do that, and I know they're very shiny, so we're going to lower that. We want to actually, you know what might work is if they're grey, so they match the trim of the shirt. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he does need a belt. We'll come back to that in a minute. So as you can see, the shirt is clipping through the trousers. So let's see. This is the shirt, and we want to go to edit mesh. We're going to we don't want to ignore back faces because we want the back of this to just, well, we're going to shrink this bit down so it's not showing through where it shouldn't. I'm going to save him. Shoes next. Content. What shoe options do we have? We could give him some high heels. No. That's waiting to see what the reaction would be to those shoes. I agree it needs a belt. I believe I will need to draw the belt onto trousers themselves. Should gamer, that's fine. I'll look forward to seeing it. Right, now that he's fully dressed, I feel like there could be some changes to be made to his face, but I'm not going to do them tonight. I'm also not going to draw the belt on. I mean, I will, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I think I'm going to go to bed shortly. I will. Robotic Pope. There's no point giving. I can give him socks, but there's no point because the shoes cover it up, and it will just slow down the render time if it's also going to render socks, even though they're not visible. And it's the same with his underwear, which I've just deleted. You can't see them, but having them there slows down render time and all that stuff. Oh, 754 playbacks already. That's exciting. We haven't even finished streaming yet. Thank you all for contributing to that. So yeah, I'm going to save. So basically, I took his underpants off without taking his trousers off first. So yeah, that would be very uncomfortable. Nerdporial Arena, happy 44th anniversary to Star Wars. Emperor Palpatine. Alright, Strid Gamer, post your link. I will save it and then watch it after the stream is over. I guess it could be a little bit podgier. But I think this is as much as I'm going to work on him tonight. I'll finish him off over the next few days and he'll be ready to go into chapter 14. But thank you all for being here as I worked on him pretty much from scratch. So what I need to do is I think he does need to be a little bit podgier here. The implant, I haven't finished that yet, so it needs more detail on the back. I think his face might need a little bit more work as well. But otherwise, I am happy with my progress tonight. Oh, and here's a belt. Yeah, I'm gonna draw one of those actually on the texture. There aren't a lot of belt options, so I'm just going to draw something on. I can give it some pouches and things. Yeah. I'm glad you're all liking how Lobot looks. I know he's a very memorable character. I think what everyone remembers is the bald head and then this attachment. But yeah, I think it's time to stop the stream. Hold on a second. Strid Gamer, if you leave a link to your lightsaber video in the comments to this stream, I will check it out in the morning. Nerdporial Lifeform, yep. I'm really happy the way Wedge works, looks. Definitely time to go to bed, I think. He's in chapter 10. so far of this series. Obviously he'll be back later on in the story. I did a stream of actually making him as well, getting his uniform right. Yeah, if you want to see how he looks, go and watch chapter 10. You'll find it on my channel. So I hope you enjoy that. I did kind of cut a little bit of a scene of he had. So in the book he appears in chapter 2. I did cut that scene. It felt more natural for video. Yeah, he does actually exist outside the cockpit. He is walking around with Han and Leia on the surface of Bafash when they get ambushed by the Nogri. Gavin, thank you for coming. I'll be checking that out. Yeah, I heard that. In the book, he's not in the cockpit for all of it. Obviously, he does have some cockpit scenes, but that's not the entire time he spends in the story. He's not only a pilot in this. He does other things. So yeah, go onto my channel, check out chapter 10 if you want to see him in action. Gavin, thank you. I'll be checking out that audiobook. I've written it down. I may actually check it out in the morning now because it's getting late. But thank you for the super chat and for the recommendation. So I think the time has come to end the stream. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for coming. I do appreciate it. I've enjoyed your company. I'm glad you're all happy with the way he looks. I'm really happy with the way he looks. Apart from the little extra details that still need to be done. They'll take a little bit of time, and it is getting late, so I'm not going to work on them tonight. I don't think he says anything in the book. So yeah, see you all next week, and may the Thrawn be with you.